After having a discussion about straight lines and circles, I would like to explain you about the main three parts of the conic section. These are parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. Before starting parabola, ellipse or hyperbola, it is mandatory to understand few concepts of the conic section. What are the main focused point required and repeatedly used in the topic conic sections? So, if I tell you there is analytical definition of the conic section. One of the definition, if a double cone is cut by a plane, then any of the five sections so formed, that is pair of straight lines, circles, parabola, ellipse or hyperbola, is known as the circle. But here there was a definition for the pair of straight lines, there was a definition for the circles. Circle was the locus of a point in a plane which moves in such a way that remains at equal distance from a fixed point. But there is analytical definition for these three parts to understand parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. That is conic or conics. Conic section or conic is the locus of a point in a plane in such a way that the ratio of its distances from a fixed point and from a fixed line is always constant. This fixed point is known as the focus, fixed line is known as the directrix and the fixed ratio is known as the eccentricity. So what is the analytical definition? I am going to explain you. If this is the plane, in this plane there is a point fixed. Suppose this point is the fixed point, say S, and there is a fixed line, say this line is L, and this is a movable point, x comma y is the location at any moment of time. So the locus of this point, locus of a moving point in a plane in such a way that it always bears the constant distance, ratio of the distances from the fixed point and from the fixed line. This is distance PS and this distance is PM. S is what? S is a fixed point in a plane, fixed point in the plane. This fixed point in the plane is known as focus. We call this point as focus. Now the question raised, this line L is the fixed line. L is the fixed line. This fixed line is known as the directrix. We call it directrix. So fixed point so chosen in the plane is known as the focus, fixed line is known as the directrix, and ratio of movable point from fixed point to fixed line, this ratio is known as eccentricity. So the definition of the conic section or conic is that if a point moves in a plane in such a way that it bears equal ratio of distance all the time from a fixed point and from a fixed line, then whatever path is described is known as the conic section. If eccentricity comes out equal to 1, it is known as parabola. If eccentricity is less than 1, we call it ellipse, and if eccentricity is greater than 1, we call it hyperbola. We call it hyperbola. Before I start telling exact facts and problems of parabola, I would like to tell you what are the terms which are required in the topic conic section. As in my previous video, I told you what is the focus. You know, the focus is the fixed point taken in the plane. Focus is the fixed point. Then what was the directrix? It is very much important to understand the fixed line is known as the directrix. Then I also told you what is the eccentricity. The eccentricity is symbolically given by E, and it is the ratio of a movable point from fixed point S to the line, that is PM. This ratio is known as E. There are few more terms other than these three to understand the concept of conic section. These are, suppose this is a movable point, this is a fixed line. So say for example, this is the focus S, this is a movable point P. If this point P is moving and making a path like I have shown here, S is focus, this line L is the directrix, this line L is the directrix, S is the focus. What is the line called passing through focus and perpendicular to the directrix? This is known as the axis. Say this line is Y. So here in the figure, Y is the axis of conic. Y is the axis of conic. So what is the axis? A line passing through focus but perpendicular to directrix is known as the axis of conic. The point of intersection of the axis and the curve, the path, is known as the vertex. Say this point is K. So what is K? K is the vertex. I am telling you what is vertex. Point of intersection of axis and conic section is known as the vertex. So there are 5 important terms to understand. Focus, the fixed point taken; directrix, the fixed line taken; eccentricity, the equal ratio; axis, the line passing through focus and perpendicular to directrix; and the vertex is the point of intersection of the conic section and that axis. Now what we call any chord which is perpendicular to the axis, this is known as a double ordinate. I am telling you what is the double ordinate. The double ordinate is a chord which is perpendicular to, we can say it is the chord perpendicular to axis. This is the chord perpendicular to axis. Now if any chord is double ordinate passing through focus, it is known as latus rectum. So what is the new word to understand? It is the latus rectum. What is the latus rectum? Latus rectum is, suppose this is, I can say capital L, this is M. So latus rectum is here to understand is LM. Latus rectum is a chord passing through focus and perpendicular to the axis. So you have to remember these 7 terms before you start either parabola or ellipse or hyperbola. These terms are focus, fixed point; directrix, fixed line; eccentricity, constant ratio; axis, that passes through focus perpendicular to directrix; vertex, point of intersection of the conic section and the axis; double ordinate, any chord perpendicular to axis; and if this perpendicular chord, that is double ordinate, passing through focus, is known as the latus rectum. In order to understand the topic of parabola, I will tell you that we have 4 types of parabolas. One of the parabola is this one, first type, its equation is given by y square is equals to 4ax. This is S focus and this is the line directrix. Focus lies on x-axis and on x-axis y is always 0. So, I can say the coordinates of the focus are to be taken as a comma 0. And vertex is taken on the intersection of x-axis and y-axis. So, the coordinates of the vertex here are, I can take V, coordinates are 0, 0. And we know that in the parabola, directrix is exactly at equal distance, that is, this vertex is the midway of the focus and this. So, this focus is a unit in the positive direction. So, the directrix will be a unit in the negative direction. So, the equation of the directrix will be x equals to minus a. So, in general, the first type of the parabola, that equation of the parabola is known as given by y square is equals to 4ax, first thing. And about it, first of all, I would like to tell you what is its vertex. The coordinates of this parabola of the vertex are to be taken as x equals to 0, y equals to 0. If we talk about the second term, what is its focus? The coordinates of the focus of the parabola are x equals to a and y equals to 0. Third thing I want to tell you, what is the LLR? You must understand what is meaning by LLR. Length of latus rectum, and latus rectum is that chord which is perpendicular to the axis of the conic and passing through focus. So, length of latus rectum is 4a. Then question comes, what is the equation of axis? As in this parabola, I would like to tell you its x-axis is the axis. So, the equation of axis of parabola is x-axis. So, answer will be y equals to 0. Then we can discuss what is the equation of directrix. So, to understand what is the equation of directrix, it is given by x equals to minus a. And the last concept to understand about this type of parabola y square is equals to 4ax, what is the focal length? Meaning of focal length means the distance of point at any time from the focus, and that is given by a plus x. We call it the distance is a plus x, focal length. Hence, to solve the problems based on the parabola of type y square is equals to 4ax, we must remember the 6 components: vertex, focus, length of latus rectum, equation of axis, equation of directrix, and focal length as given to you. Now I want to tell you about the parabola of second type. That is, if there is a parabola in this shape, then equation of this parabola is given by y square is equals to minus 4ax. And the vertex is again on the same position v, that is 0, 0. Axis is the same x-axis. Directrix is beyond the vertex at the equal distance as the focus is away from the vertex. Here this directrix is given by x equals to positive a because the focus S is in the negative direction. P is any arbitrary point whose coordinates are x, y. So, if I tell you the properties, number first, what are the coordinates of the vertex? It is x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0. These are the vertices. Vertex of the parabola of second type. Then what are the coordinates of the focus? The focus is given by x is equals to minus a, y is equals to 0. Then I want to tell you what is its length of latus rectum, LLR. LLR is again same, that is how much, 4A, that is the chord passing through focus. This is S and perpendicular to the axis. Next, what is the equation of axis? If we talk about equation of axis, so the equation of axis is again x-axis, that is y equals to 0. Then what is the equation of directrix? The directrix is beyond the vertex in the positive side. So the equation of directrix this time is x equals to positive a, and the focal length is given by a minus x. So focal length is a minus x. Equation of directrix is x equals to a. Equation of x is y0, LLR 4a, focus minus a comma 0, vertex 0 comma 0. Now I want to discuss with you the parabola of third type. That is, if the shape of the parabola is like this. This is the parabola, and in this parabola this is x-axis, this is y-axis, point of intersection of these two is the vertex, origin, focus is on y-axis, that is S, it is known as on x-axis, on y-axis, x is 0, y is a. This is the latus rectum, again the length is the same, that is 4a, I can take it PQ, and this is the directrix, so called L, or we can take it as y equals to minus a. Now the informations, equation of this type of parabola is given by x square is equals to 4ay, because parabola is expanded both the sides positive and negative on the x-axis. 4a is positive because focus is on the positive side of the y-axis. First, what is the vertex? Vertex of this parabola is again x equals to 0 and y equals to 0. After vertex, what is the focus? As the focus of this parabola lies on y-axis, so it is x equals to 0 and y equals to a. Then third, LLR, length of latus rectum, is again same, 4a. Then equation of axis, here clearly y-axis is the axis, so answer is x equals to 0, because for equation of axis we are taking y-axis. Then fifth, what is the equation of its directrix? Equation of directrix, if we talk about, the directrix is y equals to minus a, and the last, what is the focal length of the parabola, that is a plus y. These are the informations very much necessary to understand for the third type of the shape of the parabola, x square equals to 4ay. Now I want to tell you what is the fourth form of the parabola and what are its required informations. Y-axis, x-axis, and a downward parabola of this type is known as the fourth type of parabola, and equation is given by y square equals to minus 4, x square equals to minus 4ay. Informations, vertex is again same, that is at origin. Focus here 0 comma minus a, and the length of latus rectum is 4a. So first of all, what is the vertex? X equals to 0 and y equals to 0. Then what is the focus? Focus is x equals to 0 and y equals to minus a. LLR, length of latus rectum, is 4a, and equation of axis, equation of axis is given by y-axis is the axis, x equals to 0. Equation of directrix, because directrix is at equal distance from vertex as the focus is from vertex. So the equation of directrix will be given by y is equals to minus plus a, because it is in the positive direction. And what is the focal length or focal distance? The focal length or focal distance is given by a minus y. So this is all about all four types of parabolas. Before you start solving problem, we should try to recognize that parabola belonging to which category, and of same category we will apply the information to obtain, which I will make you clear. Now I will take some problems.